What's going on, guys? One, love out to everybody. We got UFC Fight Night, Moicano versus Duncan. Predictions breakdown here, guys. Over there in the Apex, which is going to be a smaller cage, which could favor a lot of wrestling and BJJ. All right, the last card there with Asanya and Taifa. That card was, obviously the cage was bigger, so favor a lot of the strikers. That's why a lot of knockouts were happening. Not much of the wrestler guys were winning. Strikers had a better advantage on that. 13 fights in this card though, guys. Fly through real quick here, not gonna spend too long on this one. Like I said, never judge a book by the cover, never judge a card by the cover. Once you start going through, you see some of the matchups are not that bad. Before I get started though, guys, I'll take a look at that Asanya and Taifa card right there, man. I'll talk a little bit about it, not too long though. That card there, it was a pretty good card, like I said, Joe Taifa would win, which he did. I'm just gonna speak on pretty much, how I feel about Asanya now. Easy. And thing is that, like I mentioned, man, everything is based on your mental, and the body will always follow the mind, which I'm right. The Marcy Barber fight was kind of, it looked like. Look how she transitioned for a little bit. Like she was like, she just didn't look good when she got knocked out. And she got choked out too, knocked out and choked out, but she looked like her consciousness pretty much left her, like she was transitioning. Like the way how she looked and her eyes open, just didn't look good. But again, she's standing up and striking without moving her foot. She wasn't implementing her movement and staying in the pocket with Alexa, which Alexa is known for boxing. Alexa strives on when you sit in front of her. Alexa doesn't do good when you use footwork and move around. And Marcy Barber was right in the range, man. So it is what it is. Overall, like I said, pretty decent card, pretty much I did well in it. But with Asanya here, easy, like I said, you can tell that his mind is not in it. He wants to prove something, but he already proved it already, and having over 80 kickboxing matches, and he took damage in a lot of those fights, even in the kickboxing, because you get hit to the head, you get hit to the body, it just wear and tear on you over time. Your joints get wear and tear. You just, you lose, that reaction time. You can tell that his reaction time is not there no more. You can tell that sniper like countering. It's not there. That athleticism that he had is not there. No, he's like second guessing himself. He's hesitating, a lot. And even, with Joe Taifa, there's a lot of things that Joe Taifa was doing that was like kind of amateurish, like the way how he was reaching out, with his hands, just walking straight ahead, head is there to get hit, these hands are down, but he knew that Easy doesn't have it no more, and there's nothing wrong with that, because like I said, that's part of the game. When people reach out like that, especially again somebody who's sniper like, you're reaching out, you're extending your hand, that man come over the top, especially a guy that can box or can counter. You putting your hand out there just reaching, which Joe Taifa was doing that. It is what it is. It's just that you can tell that Izzy is he's hesitating. His reaction time is not there. The speed doesn't look like it's there anymore. A little bit of the speed is still there, He can still get off. But against guys who are like power punchers that, that not going to fear, just come forward, which fear is an illusion, which this, the UFC and the fight game is an illusion. I'm just speaking in the sense of, he doesn't have that counter ability as the game. As far as life is concerned, man, the guy have his life ahead of him. He can achieve anything he wants to achieve. Playing the game is different. Like I said, it's an illusion. Easy is good. He's fine. He's just playing. I'm talking about just playing the game. As far as the competition and keep going forward, that's up to him. But he won't be able to go against these guys like a Joe Taifa and, especially a guy like Ushuri, which Ushuri lost to him twice. You think he could go fight Ushuri the way how he's fighting Joe Taifa? No way. Joe Pfeiffer would have got finished in that fight if it was Yushuri and Joe Pfeiffer. Yushuri would have countered him long time ago. The way how Yushuri fighting and his technical and countering, and this is ground game, his ground defense is on point. Like, he looks good in there. Joe Pfeiffer would have got finished in that fight. Of course. If Israel Izzy won't be able to fight Yushuri. I mean, as far as like matching them up, you could match them up, but Yushuri will win. That's for a fact. I mean, that could be a fight that they will probably match up. You see? I mean, I feel that could happen. You know? That actually could be a fight that they could match up. It's Yushuri versus Asanya. It's a strong possibility. Right? But because they fought already. So it could be a fight that they could make. But again, I mean, it's just one of those things where, oh man, you can tell that he's not there as far as his countering ability. He's just not there anymore. His whole athleticism, his confidence is just not there. You understand what I'm saying? He has to fight somebody like a GM3. I mean, that's sad to say. You know, somebody that's not going to put too much pressure on him. Somebody that doesn't really possess that knockout power like that and that wrestling like that, so he can get a win. You know, putting against Yushuri will 100% beat Asanya. 100% beat him. The way how he's fighting, no. The way how Israel is fighting, no. 100%. Yushuri impressed me a lot. The entire card here, I'm more impressed with Yushuri. Because he fought a tough guy in Mansour, who's pretty good grindy wrestler, and he showed that his takedown defense is on point, dude. I thought that Mansour would have probably at least hold him down, you know, and just it's possible he could grind with a win, but that wasn't the case. Again, bigger cage, but Yushuri takedown defense is on point, and his striking is pinpoint accurate. His counters, the way how he set up from the outside, his leg kicks. I mean, he's not holding. His timing, his speed, everything is there. Right? Izzy doesn't have that. He's hesitating. He's second guessing. It is what it is. It a mental thing? Of course, it's a mental thing. It's always a mental thing because your body follows the mind, man. The mind is what is the consciousness that's inside your body that's giving you that energy, and then the brain is processing everything, and it runs down the spinal cord and everything runs down there, and then triggers the body to react. No. If the mind ain't there, then the body can't react. But the body will follow the mind. Anything that's in the mind, the body gonna follow, man. And that's the thing. And he has to fight lower caliber guys like a GM3 kind of vibe, or a slower, very very slower guy, where Izzy can get off now. So he's more confident. Like, okay, this guy's not gonna knock me down. Like a Joe Pfeiffer is athletic, big dude, pack power. Honestly, not the best striking. He has things that he's doing in there that's reaching. He's just like leaving himself open. He does that with Yushuri. Yushuri will definitely pinpoint, catch him and knock him out. 100%. Yushuri will beat Joe Pfeiffer. 100%. Just Yushuri movement alone, good movement, sniper-like, good takedown defense. It's an easy win for Yushuri, in my opinion. Is he gonna have to fight somebody like a lower thing just to get his confidence back, just to build up back? Because his thing is now it's a confident thing now, because the fact that he losing 4 in a row, he losing 4 in a row, man, and like the 3 last losses is by finishes, rear naked choke, overhand right, punches back a mount. I mean, the Sean Strickland was a decision, but his confidence is shot, and his confidence in everything. Remember, if you winning, yeah, confidence and winning. Your mind telling you, yo, man, you got this, man. You win like 4 times already, bro. If you're losing, now your mind gonna be like, damn, man, the pressure is on you to get a win. Now 4 losses now, I'm like, damn, man. I mean, the competition has to be a lower level to try to build up back your confidence. You see, I'm saying it can't be like a Yushuri, which again, he has beat Yushuri in kickboxing, but that same Izzy from kickboxing ain't the same no more, dude. It is what it is, bro. And Yushuri has progressed, has gotten better. No, you can say that Izzy has more of the MMA though, because Izzy been doing it longer. He's more experienced in MMA. This is true, but the way how he's looking though, Ushiri just looks more dominant at this moment, even in MMA, bro. I'm impressed with Ushiri. This entire card, I'm impressed with Ushiri, man. I like what I see from Ushiri, right? Yeah, but that is all I really want to say. You know, it's just one of those things where should he keep fighting, bro? You know, I don't want to tell anybody to retire. Like I said, it's an illusion. You know, you can't take these things to heart. It's a game. You play the game and you get out. Play the game and you get out. You know, someone's saying, "Oh, you should rematch Sean Strickland." Sean Strickland will also possibly finish him. Just keeping it real, man. He can't fight no Sean Strickland or the Plessis or any of these high level guys, bro. They will finish him. He can't rematch Sean Strickland, dude. After the Alex win, that was possibly a good time for him. After Alex finished him the first time, you know, in MMA, he finished him a couple times in kickboxing. And he got back the win when he used the arrow thing, blah, blah, the arrow business. He should have, if he was going to retire, he should have retired then. You know what I mean? Now he's like 4 fights in, is like, and then he loses to Joe Pfeiffer, which is, you know, way back, Joe Pfeiffer would be a guy that he would beat. Just be honest. You know, hats off to Joe Pfeiffer. You know, it's all love at the end of the day. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? Just keeping it honest, no, you know. But at the same time, is that one of those things where does he go from here? Does he keep fighting these high caliber guys that obviously he has declined? You know what I mean? Or you give him Ushiri because he has fought Ushiri and beat Ushiri in kickboxing. He fought Ushiri what? I said 2 times, right? That's a lot of kickboxing matches. When you have a lot of kickboxing matches like this in boxing, bro, like 80 odd fights, 80 odd fights, dude. That takes a toll on you over time, man. You beat him right here by split decision. That's 1 time. And I think he beat him again by decision. He fought him twice, man. And right here by a decision. So he fought him twice, dude. So don't be surprised if that's the next matchup, man. I'm just saying. It would be a good way to slide in Ushiri, you know. Make him fight easy. You know, easy, I guess, you know, champion, you know, he's like a face of the UFC, you know, and they say the GOAT or whatever you want to say. It's just all an illusion, though, guys. It's just you know, it's an illusion. It's true life is ahead of you. True life is within you. You know, easy will be fine. He already made whatever money you want to make already. You know, but just playing the game, you know, you're just talking the talk. You know what I mean? You know, it would be a good way to slide in Ushiri right now, because Ushiri beat Mansour, which is actually a big win. You know what I mean? So it would be a good note to say, okay, so Israel lost his fight against Joe Pfeiffer. You know, just make Israel and Ushiri. You know, because, you know, but I tell you, Ushiri is going to win. That's 100%. I'm 100%. I'm confident in that one. I don't see Israel. You can get coaching or maybe a psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever you want to get for his mental state to help him. It could be a sports psychologist. You could get some work done in mental, but man, it's a mental thing, and as your body follow the mind. But also, I think it's more of also just the mileage. It's also the mileage also, which goes into your mental. So that's all I want to say there, guys. I don't want to spend too long on this, but I just want to share that with you. Just real fast there. Let's knock out that card real quick. Fly through this real quick here, guys, but accurately. First fighter, we got Dakota Hope versus Kamaka III. Kamaka is back. He used to be in the UFC way back. Also Bellator. This fight is a tricky fight because well, not so tricky, to be honest. This guy was in UFC. Tony Kelly fought TJ Brown, lost to Jonathan Pierce and TJ Brown. Split decision against draw against Danny Chavez. I'll say it was also in Bellator. The guy that is fighting is kind of like a Buckley, like a Joaquin Buckley. Very, very like physically strong, go forward, throw heavy hands, explosive. But pushes a wrestling base as well and will grind. But he can gas out, and he just throw a lot of arm punches, bro. Kind of like Buckley, but a raw Buckley. Before Buckley started to get more technical, he's like a raw, like kind of greenish Buckley, right? But he's coming from Van Team, I believe. Joshua Van Team. But he brawls a lot though, man. He swings wild, and if he connects, he can knock you out, man. He does has a knockout chance though. But it's kind of greenish, bro. You know what I mean? And with Kaya is more experienced. Kaya been there, seen, guys like this before. Fought some tough guys, man. Brandon Logan, which he got a split decision against. I mean, that's Brendan guy is no joke, man. That guy's a pretty tough guy right there. Pretty skilled guy, I should say, not just tough. And other fights too, we had it beat if you guys know Bellator, Pedro, Carvello, Bubba Jenkins, Henry Corrales, which is pretty, pretty durable and skilled guy as well. But Kaya, man, Kaya is pretty decent. He's well-rounded, boxing, everything like that. You mix it up, go for takedowns, experience, I'm gonna go Kaya. I'm gonna say Kaya by decision, but I'm not confident because this Hope guy, like I said, he's kind of like Joaquin Buckley. And we see how Joaquin Buckley fights, man. Explosive, sprint across, catches you real quick and is over. So if Hope sprints across and catches Kaya on the chin, you could put him out, dude. That guy is athletic, strong, physically, has a strong wrestling base, smaller cage. Like I said, this card here may favor a lot of wrestlers and BJJ people. You know what I'm saying? To get the fight to go because smaller cage, you ain't got that much way to move. So it could favor a lot of the wrestlers and BJJ guys. So I'll go Kaya by decision, but I'm not confident. Next fighter, we got Donia Barboza versus Melissa Gatto. Barboza here will look for takedowns, more BJJ. Striking, I've been getting kind of better, but her ground game is more of her bread and butter. Gatto is also more push to ground, hasn't fought since 2024, I believe. Will also strike. I feel Gatto striking could be a little better, but can look for the submission and the knockouts. I don't think Barboza has as much knockouts. Gatto does though. This is a tough one to call though, man. I was kind of looking at Barboza, but I'm going to slide with Gatto. I'm going to say Gatto by decision, 50-50, like I said, women fight. Also guys too, but women fight, man, like the last fight there with, what's her name? The freaking, with freaking Alexa and Barber. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people got Barber winning over that. Even I did too. And Alexa going there and caught her real quick. Because it's the game plan she went in there with. She went in there to fight phone booth with Alexa, who is known for possibly having the best boxing in that division, in that weight class as far as women is concerned. So it is what it is. Barbara is more pinpoint, in and out, footwork, more of a karate kind of base when she's on her toes, moving around, picking her shots. She should not usually want to sit down and strike like that, bro. But it is what it is, Hopefully everything is okay with her as far as, as far as going forward. I use the word hope. I don't like to use the word hope though, but certain people, you just have to just use hope for them, It is what it is. But Gatto by decision, man. Next fight, we got Azamat Bekoev versus Tristan Gore. Azamat here, this guy is really skilled, man. Coming to the ATT. A lot of guys from ATTs on this card, guys. American top team. I think he made some changes in his game here, but this guy's very well-rounded, very experienced guy, can fight anywhere. With Yushuri is just on a different level as far as like having kickboxing background, huge kickboxing background, rangy, have that height and reach on him, seasoned kickboxer, and his ground defense, man. As far as Yushiri, I'm very impressed with him. Like I said, that guy ground game is freaking impressive, dude. He will defend and keep you on the back foot, man, and pepper you up and break you down, man. That guy is very impressive. So Azamat have a hard time with him against reach advantage and the height, and just Yushu is a freaking amazing striker. Gore on the hand, Gore is kind of like he come in there heavy hand punches, has punch. They say he has puncher's chance, but he has more submissions, man. Let me see here. Gore is like, I don't know. Gore is kind of hard to put together, man. May have the punches here, will swing hard, but like I say, he has more submissions. Can be slightly kind of green at time, hittable. I don't feel like he's on the level though. He's not on the level of Azamat, especially Azamat. he's been at ATT, but then he makes some changes, and they're gonna make sure he's gonna win this fight. They're gonna design a way for him to come in here and pull off a win, man. They're gonna take Gore's weaknesses and whatever is weak on, they're gonna implement that in this fight. And that's that Gore just takes a lot of damage, bro. I gotta go with Azamat. I say Azamat by KO in the first one. Gore does has a puncher's chance, man, but Azamat is freaking. I feel Azamat is on a different level, bro. That's just it. So it is what it is. Next fight here, we got Harley Cohen versus Alice Pereira. Harley here is more gymnastics, more athletic. I'm just keeping it real. No disrespect all over the end of the day, but she is more gymnastics, man. More athletic, more calisthenics. So she's physically, strong and has the attributes, the athleticism. Could find a submission as well. So she does like the ground. Would put you against your cage and clinch up. Alice on the other hand, I feel is still slightly kind of green. I feel Cohen is still slightly kind of green as well. But Allison has the range here, the reach, I believe, and will move around, pick her shots. Striking is okay. Last surrender because I think it was a short notice. She got tired in that fight also. This is a tough one here, man, because Haley could win, man. Like I said, she can have the more experience, She don't have the striking like what Alice has, but if she could get the fight to the ground, it could be problems and look for submission. But I'm gonna go with Alice. I'm gonna say Alice by decision, guys. But women fight again, 50-50, man. A lot of these fights on this card are kind of questionable, guys. Very questionable fights on this card. A lot of guys that are like can't really trust them for wins. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys that haven't been fought in a while. So it is what it is. It's hard to put a read on it. So it's like one of those cards where it could be risky to actually play. Next fight, we got Lando Vannata versus Darush Flowers. Again, in Vannata. Vannata hasn't fought since 2023. You know what I'm saying? Last fight was against Daniel Zuhuber. You know what I'm saying? Groovy. He's decent. Pick his shots, move around well. You know what I mean? We'll mix it up. Go to the ground, look for submissions, light on the feet. The guy switches stance. I mean, he looks decent, but overall through the years he's been taking a lot of damage, man. So he is kind of hittable, but when he started out he was a little bit more better, obviously. The more you get hit to the head and the more fights you're having, the more damage you're taking, obviously. He's going to wear on you like how easy, right? The more fights you win, just over 80 odd fights, bound to take a wear and tear. If you're not getting consistently hit with 80 odd fights, you're taking a beating, bro. There's no way you're not going to get hit in any of those fights, especially full contact, right? Flowers on the other hand, Flowers pack power, can finish a fight by knockout, but he can get submitted though. 6 times submitted, he can get taken down as well. I'm going to go towards Vannata, man. I'm going to say Vannata by submission in the second round, guys, but 50-50, man. Like I said, Vannata hasn't really been in there. He will drop the ball, and Flowers will also drop the ball as well. Like I said, this is a card where these are guys that some of them don't fight in a while, and these are fighters that will drop the ball. So it's risky. Next fighter, we got Alessandro CostaKO versus Stuart Nicol. So next one here in Costa. This guy's a pretty good fighter, man. We'll mix it up. In and out movement. We'll look for the takedowns. He's pretty well rounded guy, man. Guys he losing to are tough guys. Experienced guys. Stuart on the other hand, Stuart is well rounded, wants to take down. Slightly kind of awkward on the foot. Movement kind of stutter step at times. Punches and strikes are, like I said, he leaves himself open. Chin can be kind of high. You know what I'm saying? Will hunt for the takedowns. This fight is a lot of these fights here should be even, man. I'm gonna go for Costa, man, but I'm not too confident in this one because, like I said, these are guys that can drop the ball, and Costa can drop the ball, but Costa losing to more tougher competition. So I'll go with Costa. So Costa by KO in the second round, guys. Next fighter, we got Thomas Peterson versus Guilherme Pat. Thomas here is more of a bruiser, bite down, swing heavy, but will wrestle you, dog. Not the best fight IQ, hittable. Got finishes the last fight by Vitor Petroni, got knocked out in that fight. Also lost to Gazim by a right hook too. So he's been getting knocked out a couple of times in these fights. I believe 3 times by knockouts. This guy's a dog though, but against Pat though, Pat is more karate based, moves well, Decent head movement, body movement, in and out, picky shots. More of a karate stylist, which is a karate stylist. Ground defense don't look too bad so far. Does have like a kickboxing, Muay Thai kind of base on him too. Boxing, as you can see, it's not just straight karate. He did karate more for the movement, but when he let his hands go, you can see more of a boxing, Muay Thai kind of vibe, and throw the knees in the pocket and elbows. Seems to can slow down in the later rounds, but he holds the pace. Against Thomas though, smaller cage, you gotta be very careful with this one, because Pat is not that experienced, and Thomas is. You know what I mean? So if Thomas can get those takedowns, man, it can be a problem. But Thomas coming off a knockout against Pachuno, it's just hard to say, man. And with Pat is pretty accurate countering. He's very technical with the strikes, and his precision countering is good. So if he can catch his Tom, Tom can get finished again. It's a possibility. But again, if Tom can grind on a win and avoid the strikes, or get hit but can take it and grind, put him against the cage and put him down, then you're gonna have a problem. No, you look at this fight as like, damn, man, Pat keep getting takedown, and Pat does lose by decision because he's not able to stop the takedowns from Thomas. That's just experience, man. So this fight, you gotta be very careful. If Pat is unable to get off smaller cage, if he's not able to get off, or I would say stop Thomas, or in a way where, man, he could just pull the fight to decision without getting taken down and keep the fight where he wants to keep it, then Pat would be in problem. So I said decision Pat was 50-50 because of the fact that Thomas is a dog and will possibly grind and look for takedowns. All right. Next fighter, guys, we got Robert Rocola versus José Delano. Robert, the next guy coming out of ATT as well. This guy is not bad. Mix up the kicks with the punches, have a ground game. I guess coming out of ATT. We look for the submission and knockout. But his opponent here, Jose, though, man. Jose looks pretty good, dude. I'm actually impressed with Jose. Switches stance, nice footwork, movement, boxing looks sharp, pinpoint accurate. Seems like he has his chin up when he's coming in, but because he moves in and out so well, he avoid you countering him, because he's in touch you and come back out. So by the time you throw, he's already on outside. Wants to strike more, but will also look for takedowns. Sharp striking. His counters are nice. This guy is pretty good, man. He's come off the Contender Series, but from what I see from him, bro, his boxing combination works the body, the head, the way he angle off the center line and then come back, the way how he scrambles. This guy's on freaking point, dude. I'm impressed with this dude here, man. I'm gonna go Jose by KOTK in the second round. Still 50-50 because again, Robert coming from ATT, and ATT, they usually work on the guys very well, for them to win the fight. They find the guy's weakness in Jose, but Jose, I would say his weakness sometimes he comes in the center line, his chin is kind of high up. They may can exploit that, but like I say, Jose is in and out and laterally at the same time, cut corners in you and then follow up. So we will see what happens. But for this entire card, the person that I'm looking forward to mostly on this card is Jose. I like how Jose moves in there. Jose looks very good striker, good everywhere. But his striking, his boxing, and his ability to land the techniques in and out without getting hit, and his defense is on point. It's very impressive. So I got Jose by KOTK in the second round, guys. Next fight, we got Tommy McMillen versus Milano Zicini. Zicini. I don't think you pronounced that right, but here we go. Tommy here, man. Tommy coming from I think he trains with Sean O'Malley, but he has a Sean O'Malley kind of vibe to him. Very gritty kid here. We mixed up all the wrestling base in him. We look for the takedowns, look for the submissions, throw knees in the pocket, elbows. This guy's pretty well rounded. He goes in there and fight. Has a strong wrestling base on him. Against Milano, though, Manalo hasn't fought in a while either. Just said a lot of these people on this card hasn't fought. 2023, remember, against Morgan, got a body shot. Hasn't fought in a long time. He's kind of hittable. Beat to the body. Tommy should win this fight. This fight is set for Tommy to win. That's just, it is what it is, guys. I got Tommy by submission in the first round. But be careful, though. Like I said, this card here could be some crazy things happening. like I said, Next fight, we got Rafael Estevam versus Itwan Ewing. I think I pronounced that right. Estevaz here, we'll mix it up. This guy is very good. BJJ black belt, look for takedowns. Have that gritty kind of boxing, pressure on you, come in, work the body, work the head. Keep the pressure on you, go for takedowns, look for submission. Erwin could be the better striker as far as technical. But, I feel the experience is Rafael here, man. With Erwin, though, Erwin had a short notice against, I believe, like 2 day or 3 day against Maker, where he put a beating on Maker. He was looking good against Maker. Boxing, his techniques look good in there. His in and outs. This is all around game mixed up with the takedowns. He just looks very seasoned, very savvy guy, decent boxing. Have like a judo vibe to him. But I'm going for Estevaz though. I feel Estevaz is just more experienced, more seasoned guy in Estevan. Estevan will look for takedowns, possibly will even get it and pull off a decision. I got Estevan by decision, 50-50. But don't sleep on Erwin though, because Erwin is skill. Get that fight on short notice against Maker, which Maker is still kind of greenish, show. But Estevan is very, very skilled guy, man. Next fight, we got Abdul versus Brunson Ribeiro. Abdul, man, is the next guy here too, man. This, like I said, when you start going through this card and you break down the guys and watch footages, you see these guys are very good. This guy from the Contender Series, very explosive guy as well, man. This guy is skilled. I look forward to seeing this guy too. Striking, nice, spinning heel kicks, technical, nice Mawashi Garys follow up with the straight. We look for submission. This guy is very, very explosive, very, very good martial artist, man. Skill everywhere. With Ribeiro is well rounded as well. But Ribeiro is not durable. I believe he's been finished a couple of times by knockout. Also can get submitted, I believe. Actually, I don't think he has never been submitted. He's been knocked out 6 times, I believe, but never submitted though. But Ribeiro is a guy that he's explosive, kind of like a Johnny Walker. But then you will catch him or take him down and then just submit him. But no, actually, he's never been. No, he has been submitted twice. Okay, so he's been submitted because I have it here by TKO by Abdul. So, but it's a guy that will be looking good, and then he dropped the ball, man. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he be looking good and then just drop the ball. But he's a powerful guy. Don't sleep on it. 9 by KO, 7 by submission. So he has ability, to get a puncher's chance on you. You know what I mean? So it's not a guy that you can really sleep on. So if you go in there and play around with him, or you're running to one of his punches, or he catches you, because he fights long range as well, he could finish you. But I'm gonna go with Abdul. I'm gonna say Abdul by KO TK in the first round, guys. All right. Next fighter we have this co-main event already. Okay, we got Verna Jandaroba versus Tabatha Ricci. Verna here. We look for submissions, more to ground, look for takedowns, more grind on you, more 14 by submissions, obviously. Her striking has improved, you know what I'm saying, but she slows down as the fight go on. You know what I mean? And then you can back her up and just hold her against the cage and just win off of cage control, octagon control, right? And Ricci has that. Ricci has the ability, shorter reach. Most of her fights she can have the shorter reach. She got 61 inch reach. You know what I mean? But she's like a little pit bull or a baby shark. She will grind on you, push against the cage, pressure, and just win off of points. You know what I mean? Sometimes she get the submission, but most of the decision wins. In the last fight against Rebush, she got the ground, she got the elbow in the clinch. Like I said, she's good on the inside because shorter reach. She can land an elbow and pull off a win and knock you down, maybe go on and prone. Strong on top. You know what I mean? Against Verna, Ricci has, I believe, judo and BJJ black belt, I believe. So she's kind of comfortable on the ground. I don't see Verna really subbing her, really, but it can happen. But the fact that she has that ground game, it just frees her up to not worry about getting taken down, because she can just walk through Verna and then pin her against the cage and do what she needs to do. So I'm going to go Ricci. I'm going to say Ricci by decision, baby shark. All right, let's go. Main fight on the card, we got Renato Moicano versus Chris Duncan. Both of these guys, they train at the same gym, bro. American top team right up here, right in Coconut Creek. So they train at the same gym. I don't know how that's going to work out. But Renato will mix it up, looks for takedowns, looks to the submission. But he's been kind of hittable at times, man. And but he will catch you with the strikes. He's well-rounded, skill with the striking as well, and skill with the ground, BJJ black belt. Chris Duncan is also skill as well, but different between Chris Duncan and Vannata. Chris Duncan has improved and consistently keep improving, right? Can take this fight anywhere he wants to as well. Vannata will gas out though. That's the next thing in this fight. This fight is a 5-round fight. Vannata will gas, and that's the thing about this fight. Duncan will last all 5 rounds if he needs to, and don't get tired, and he will come back and adjust. Like I said, Duncan has improved. Vannata does the same thing. I'm going to go Chris Duncan. I say Chris Duncan by KO TQ in the 3rd round, guys. Alright, and that's it right there, guys. My prediction breakdown right there. Just flying through this real quick, but accurately right here, guys. Quick look at the odds here, so we're working with. See these crazy odds, man. Oh, man. UFC Vegas is it right here, right? Let's see. Hope and Kamaka 3. 149, 150. I'll be careful with this one. This fight's an even fight, guys, because Hope is very athletic. Like I said, he's kind of like Joaquin Buckley kind of vibe on him, man. So very athletic, explosive, close distance, quick. He lands on Kai Kamaka's face with a punch. Kai Kamaka could fall down, and then, you know, smaller cage. Hope can also grind, like grind. So I disagree with the odds. This is an even fight. Dano Barboza and Gatto. For me, this is even as well too. They have Gatto as underdog, which I have Gatto winning. This is an even fight, guys. All right. Azamat and Gore. Azamat is 600 or something. I could see why I feel Azamat is a better fighter, to be honest with you. Gore should not beat Azamat, dude. Against Ushuri, I understand, because I had Ushuri beating Azamat. I could see why I had him winning too. The reach, the skill, the seasoned kickboxing, and his ground game has improved massively. This year, though, he should beat Gore. Alex Pereira and Holly. This is even fight, bro. Even fight. Alice Pereira is still kind of greenish in my book. Haley been fighting, you know, in the UFC. Lost. I don't know if she even won a fight yet, but she's more gymnastic, more athletic, but she can get the fight to go and look for submission. I wouldn't trust Alice, dude. Like I said, you know, this fight an even fight because Haley could win. All right, Pat and Thomas even fight, no problemo. Peterson, I got Pat winning, but Peterson could grind him out, dude. Believe me. Vannata at 200 or something, no way, bro. Because Vannata will drop the ball. Hasn't been fighting since 2023. That's pretty much it. Flowers not the best, but he does have overhands. Can get the fight to the ground as well. Very explosive guy. Even fight. Be careful with this one. Acosta and Stewart. Acosta at 300 or something. I'll be careful with that one because Acosta can drop the ball. So, yep. A lot of these odds here are off. Especially Acosta is way too high, bro. Be careful with this one. Jose Delano against Robert. 300 for Jose. I'm impressed with Jose, dude. I say Jose is the main person in the card that I'm impressed with. Jose and Abdul. I'm impressed with those two guys. Yeah, I like Jose at 300. I mean, Robert may have a shot. It's a possibility, but you have to catch him with a kind of a weakness. Like I said, the chin is there at some times, but he moves in and out well. But I like Jose. Tommy at 900 against Manolo. Yeah, man, Tommy should win this fight. This fight is set for Tommy to win. That's what's all up on the 1400s, man. I don't feel Manolo is at that level, and I feel Manolo is there to get hit consistently. I feel Tommy is pretty well rounded to win this fight. Irving and Rafael. Irving favorite here against Rafael. Rafael's underdog. Oh crap! Wow, I think I got that wrong. I feel Estevam is a way better fighter here, but if you're giving us underdog, then hey. As I said, Irving is still a skill, you know, so you never know. But I'm liking Estevam. I feel Estevam is a better fighter, more experience, and I feel like it's just more experience, dude. And he has a path for victory. Smaller cage, he has a wrestling to grind and push a high pace. Ricci and Verno, they got Ricci as underdog. Okay, I can see why. Kind of close to even fight, but I like Ricci. Abdul and Ribeiro, they got Abdul at damn. You know, like I said with Brunson will drop the ball, bro. That's pretty much it. And he's known to get finished. And Abdul is very, very sharp. Abdul is kind of like a Jose, dude. they're very, very skilled with the striking and the ground game, bro. So Chris Duncan at 156, 170 against Renato. I could see why Renato, he will come in there and fight and do his thing, but he slows down. So in the first one he looks good, and then he go in the second one and looks completely different, and like kind of like just fades. Duncan will keep a good pace all the way through. Actually, Duncan will improve as the fight go along. Renato fades as the fight go along. All right, so that's pretty much it there, guys. Just want to get that to you real quick. I was gonna wait until tomorrow to drop this, but I decided just to do it now, man. So one love to everybody, man. You guys keep on kicking, and appreciate the support, guys, and the love, and us.